Howdy doody gang. Howdy doody gang. Funny way to say it, start the show. It's episode 7, Fire Red. As you can see, I'm in the studio for this one, going for a little cozy setup. I got some diegetic scene melding video overlays. Everything in this episode is supposed to be fire themed or Pokemon Fire Red themed or red. I don't know where I was going with that. Great weekend, you guys. Thank everyone who came out to the shows on Thursday and Saturday. Had some really great stand-up shows. Had a great time. Really grateful to all the comedians and hosts and comedy club owners and people that put on shows who have been booking me to do anything. I really appreciate it. I feel like this journey of doing stand-up is going to really propel forward and be really good for the show. It allows this show to be the home of all my creativity and mayhem and nonsense and just everything I love doing that you love seeing from me. And then stand-up is a chance for you to come see me in person, do some live performing and do some really cool shows that I've been able to put on. I'm kind of looping now because my brain's melting. Not only am I surrounding myself with fire imagery, it's also hot as shit in here. So, commitment to the bit. This episode, I have a couple of performance films of the great LEASE agreement. I also have some fun GTA Online sketches, as always. I have a fun news segment that we'll be trying out at the end that I will introduce to you when we get there. But first, let's start off by saying Fire Red, Charizard, he's the best. He's the best character. He's the best Pokemon. You're wrong if you don't like him. Simple as that. And with that message, let's shoot to our first sponsor. Today's episode of the Creepy for Sale show is brought to you by Liquid Death. Okay? They are sponsoring today's show. They are bringing to you an amazing performance by the incomparable, the incredible, the another word that begins with N but is good, LEASE agreement, San Antonio's premier Midwest emo, shoegaze, punk, normcore, all around good guys band. If this couch and area looks familiar to you because you're a fan of theirs, this is the same room we shot the album cover for their latest EP, Deep Breaths, which this song you're about to see is on. It's also where we shot clips for the Died Sprite music video. Please go check that out if you haven't seen it. Right now, I'm going to throw to a sponsored performance sponsored by Liquid Death. This is LEASE Agreements, Diet Sprite, live at a coffee shop whose name I'm forgetting. I'm going to put it over here. Sorry, coffee shop. I'm forgetting your name right now. Great place. It's over there on Buena Vista Street in the warehouse thingy, the main one. Great banana bread. Not quite as good as my wife's. I have to say it. My wife makes the best banana bread, but second best banana bread that you can find. They also sell Liquid Death there, so that's awesome. So without further ado, brought to you by Liquid Death, here is Diet Sprite by Lisa Greenman. Lisa Greenman! Oh, I love you, Lisa Greenman!
Sponsored by Big Red and Barbacoa. It's called Diet Sprite. Woo! Give me 2 seconds to get out of drop it. Thank you.
Damn, what a fucking song. What an absolute banger. I hope you guys enjoyed my early 2000s. You just got to the movies render styling for that one. I love those guys. Shout out Jacoby, shout out Mao, Ethan, David. All you guys are literally the nicest people I've ever met in my life. And thank you so much for including me in any of your endeavors. I love your music so much. And I'm sure I will see another lease agreement show coming up very soon. And if you get the chance and you live in San Antonio or you live in a city that they happen to be playing in, please go check them out. You will not be disappointed. I endorse them wholeheartedly, both musically and as people. They're the sweetest guys in the world. They're unbelievably kind for letting me use the footage I captured of them performing in this episode. And yeah, that was great. Fire Red is a video game on Game Boy Advance. It's a Pokemon video game. And aside from making this episode, which, as you can tell by me sweating, was hard enough in and of itself, I thought, wouldn't it be funny to include gameplay footage, an entire Pokemon Red playthrough, from naming the character Creepy to beating the fucking Pokemon League. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. I've been playing nonstop for the last couple days. I'm currently at the Cinnabar Islands, where you fight the fire gym, and you have to do the Pokemon Mansion or whatever. I'm really hoping I can play and record the last playthrough of that game so I can have an entire playthrough of Fire Red contained within this episode. You know what? Let's put it, in fact, since I'm saying this, let's put it over here in this corner, this bottom corner. It'll be playing throughout the entirety of this episode, save for the last segment. So it'll be sped up, of course. I'm not a speedrunner. There's absolutely no fucking way I could beat that game in 20 minutes. But I think it is funny, even if it's sped up, to maybe hit some of the highlighted moments of me nicknaming some of the Pokemon and beating some of the gym badges. And, it's just a funny thing because this episode's called Fire Red, having a whole playthrough of Fire Red playing throughout this episode. Actually, the more I was playing Fire Red, I was really wondering, what if we took that main character of that game, that little traveling trainer, and we exported him out of the comfortable confines of Pallet Town and Lavender City and all the fun places in the Kanto region. And we plopped his ass in Los Santos. This is sort of what I think would happen. This is GTA Fire Red, I guess is what I'm calling it. Or maybe what about Red Goes to Cali? Pokemon Red Cross GTA. I don't know. I don't have a name for it. But this is my little short of what would happen if the kid from Fire Red, the Pokemon trainer from Super Smash Brothers, was whisked away to the wild, crime-ridden streets of Los Santos. Take it away, me. Take it away, video game me.
Unbelievable.
Jesus fuck!
Nobody does it like the cat meow.
This is a doozy of an episode. So, on my false start recording that I was doing, I didn't notice the tally light turned off and then it stopped recording. Otherwise, I would stop myself. Now I'm fixated on that light like a hawk to make sure it's recording this. But I had this light in this shoe over here. This shoe, I had it like inside the shoe because I needed like something for the light to sit on. That's why I'm holding it this time. And I was like just sitting here, and then I started smelling some like burning nonsense, and then I realized that it was burning the dust and dirt inside the shoe. Little pieces of shoe were touching the copper wires and burning. It's ironic that would happen on this pyromania fueled episode of the show, that I would burn myself alive. You guys, I'm a big fan of fire in movies, fire in general. I was trying to come up with the best fires in movies, best fires in horror movies. And I think for me, the top one, the one that I'm gonna like hang my hat on, this is the best fire in horror movies, probably Carrie. Considering the lead up to it and the symbolism and the context therein. I know it's based on a book, so it's not like a total movie idea, but like that's ridiculous. So many great movies are based on books. I don't know why that would exclude it anyway. But some people might make that argument. All the fires and all the Freddy movies are great. Even just like, I love just a fucking barrel fire. Like in a movie for no reason, there's just hobos huddled around a barrel that's on fire. I love that shit. And I think back in the day, it was just an excuse to have a super bright light in the shot, a light that'll illuminate the actors, but would make sense in a dark alley that wouldn't have any light otherwise. I love barrel fires, man. Shouts out barrel fires from movies, from the cinema of old. We've done about 15 minutes here. I'm too scared to go too long because I don't want the camera to run out of space or die or fuck up in any way. So I'm going to kick it to my next clip, which is the second performance video. It is another sponsored segment. This segment is sponsored by Worrywart Insecurity. If you're having a hard time, you don't know what to do, you're feeling really anxious, call the Worrywart hotline. They're there to help. That's 1-800 555 WART, I think. I could be wrong. Watch the commercial, see what they say. But Worrywart Insecurities helped me a lot. They really helped me in times when I'm like, what am I going to do about the show? Or I'm feeling really bad about performing because like I don't have enough material. And I'll call them up and they'll get me through the day. So please check out this message from Worrywart Insecurity. They are there for you. Take it away, guys.
恋愛やキャリア、あるいは絶え間なく表示されるターゲティング広告に怯え、不安を抱えていませんか？あなたの世界はひっくり返っています。助けが必要です。絶えず自問自答し、友人もおらず、ドアに鍵をかけたかどうかさえ思い出せない？ワリーワーとインセキュリティなら、あなたの人生を正しい軌道に戻せます。それが私たちの仕事です。25年間、私たちは嘲笑や失敗、そして徹底的な拒絶への恐怖に震え続けてきました。だからこそ、あなたがそうする必要はないのです。私はアンクシエティ・マルティネスです。自分の思考に絶えず怯え、家から出られなくなったり、ただただ自分を見失ってしまっているなら、今すぐファイブズに電話してください。番号は555-5555です。覚えておくべき番号はたった一つ、それは5です。
This next song is about my crippling social anxiety. If you're wondering why I'm looking directly at this monitor the whole time.
Fucking thumb hurts holding this stupid light as a microphone. All right, I think we're about wrapping it up here. You saw the 2 performance videos. You're watching me beat Pokemon Red in the corner, Fire Red, excuse me, in the corner. I've been one toasty creepy for sale, sitting here in the studio, saying thank you for watching. Thank you for being a fan. Please like and subscribe, comment on this video, engage with the channel any way you can. It really makes YouTube think that people are watching, and I think that you guys are, and I want that to be reflected so that more people will see and find the show. I know it's kind of cringy to beg for these things, but it is what it is. Please like and subscribe and give us a shout out. Follow me on Instagram. I got 3. Creepy for sale for all things personal and photography related, the OG account. The Creepy for Sale show for all things related to this show and any upcoming guests or bookings that we might have for this specific show that you're watching right now. And That Comedian Creepy for all things stand-up. I've started doing a thing where I try to at least every day post a new little funny one image Photoshop joke comic thingy. I've accumulated a few. Maybe I'll do highlights so you can go back and look at all of them. They're pretty funny. They're just like an excuse for me to fuck around and make a funny shit post for Instagram. Thanks for watching the show, guys. This last segment that I'm going to leave you with, don't worry, it's not an analog asylum. It's not Toy Box Sid. It's a new idea I have that I'm hoping you'll like. You don't need to necessarily go to sleep to it, but I bet you could fall asleep pretty easily watching this part. So if you're driving, maybe don't watch it or listen to it. But if you're at work or you're trying to fall asleep or you just want something relaxing to unwind to, maybe you're in the bath, this is a new segment that I've come up with called Spooky Stories to Fall Asleep To. Or no, what was it? Spooky Stories to Make You Sleepy. I like spooky stories to fall asleep to. Spooky stories to fall asleep to. That's what we'll call it. Or should it be spooky stories that make you sleepy? You'll find out when you see the stinger, which one I chose. But this was a cool little thing I wanted to do where I made some cool visuals like the one you're looking at above me, and I told a story of something I researched that I found really interesting. Just a true real life ghost story, true real life tragedy, I guess I should say, of someone whose career in life was ended here in San Antonio, and I think it's really interesting. Obviously, it's fire related. I think I'm not going to try and give any more away than that, but it is a story of Martha Mansfield, a silent movie actress who tragically burned alive on a set accident. So check out the story of that coming up next. I think it's really cool what I was able to put together for that. I said cool so many times throughout this intro. It's been about 20 minutes, which was the exact amount of time I wanted to be doing this for, so I'm going to leave you there. Guys, what a show. Episode 7. The camera didn't stop recording. I actually got it in this time. I finally get to go home. Thank you for watching, guys. You're awesome. You're the reason I do this show. Fucking, let's keep making cool shit. Let's keep working together. Let's keep just fucking ripping ahead, having fun. I really hope you guys enjoy the show. I know it's unconventional, it's different, it's weird, it's creepy, it's for sale. And thank you guys so much for supporting it. I really appreciate it. That's been the show. I'm gonna go. Hasta la vista, sweet baby Joe. No, I don't know who Joe is.
Hello, my name is Creepy for Sale, and right now I want to tell you the story of silent film actress Martha Mansfield, whose life was cut tragically short in Brackenridge Park on November 30th, 1923. But before we get there, I would like to tell you about her life and how she got there. She was born Martha Ulrich on July 14th, 1899, in New York City, to Harriet Gibson Ulrich and Maurice Ulrich. Harriet was an immigrant from Ireland, and Maurice a struggling newspaper artist. They had one other daughter, Edith, younger than Martha. Harriet had immigrated from Ireland to Mansfield, Ohio. The inspiration for Martha's stage name in the near future. By 14, Martha's father, Maurice, had abandoned the family, leaving them desperate and unsure of the future. Her ambitions to be an actress and a performer and a model were heightened by this, I'm sure. For not a year later, she would star in a Broadway production of Little Women in 1912, a performance that marked the beginning of her ascendant career on stage and screen. She modeled for celebrated illustrators, danced in musical reviews, and appeared in the passing show Robinson Crusoe Jr. Appeared in the passing show and Robinson Crusoe Jr. A young performer sharpening her craft in every medium available to her. And I can't help but relate to someone with such ambitions to perform on stage and be in films. In 1917, using the name Martha Early, she signed with SNA Studios and appeared in films alongside French comedian Max Linder. But it was her role as Millicent Carew in the 1920 adaptation of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, starring John Barrymore, that cemented her place in silent film history, along with her status as one of the most iconic gothic visages of her day. Audiences were captivated by her expressive presence, an actress who could command the screen without ever speaking a word. She moved fluidly between stage and screen, appearing in Ziegfeld's Follies, starring in Broadway Bill, and later singing with Seismic Pictures and Fox Film Production. By 1923, she was posed for even greater stardom. She had agreed to appear in a film called The Warrens of West Virginia, which would be shot on location in San Antonio, Texas, at Brackenridge Park, a place very familiar to me, as this was the park of my childhood, where a lot of my most formative memories were made. It was also the site of the tragedy of this story. For on November 30th, 1923, while filming a scene where she was dressed in a lavish Civil War era dress with folds and ruffles with endless layers of folds and ruffles. Many newspapers dispute whether it was her own cigarette ash or a match tossed carelessly nearby, but what happened next was nothing short of a tragedy. The spark and embers caught the bottom of her dress, and in an instant, she erupted in flames. Co-starred Wilfrid Lytell rushed to smother the flames with his coat, but the fire spread too quickly, and Martha suffered devastating burns all over her body. She was rushed to the hospital that day, and the director of the movie said that she would be okay and that the show must go on. Filming would resume the next day. Unfortunately for Martha, she would pass that next day at the age of 24, forever cementing her hopeless, dark presence on screen. Martha Mansfield is an amazing tale of tragic ambition, of gothic beauty, of getting what you asked for. I'm sure when she was a young actress, one thing she'd really want to be remembered for is to be immortalized on screen, to be immortalized in her work. As someone who performs and makes film myself, I can empathize and relate and identify with that same ambition. And unfortunately, she's immortalized for all the wrong reasons. But I would encourage you, if you're watching this, to watch the 1920 Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde to see her captivating performances, or take time to see the photos that she modeled for during her time at the Ziegfeld Follies. Excuse me. I have a really personal connection to this story. I have a ancestor of mine who also burned to death. And while I don't romanticize the idea of it, I can't help but feel moved by the idea of eternal youth. The idea of being immortalized and cast in a forever state of youth, a forever state of being young and what could have been. So next time you're in Brackenridge Park, stop and think and see if you can feel the presence of Martha. Maybe those days where the sun is shining really bright through the trees, reflecting off the creek. Maybe that's her, still waiting to finish that movie. I hope you enjoyed this tale of real life tragedy. I hope it encourages you to investigate further silent movies and the silent film era and the history of San Antonio, the city that I'm from and currently living in. This has been the tale of Martha Mansfield, a silent film actress whose life was cut tragically short. Thank you.
Engulf me.